Welcome back to Miami. I'm Rachel Nichols, still here with Kendrick, Perkins, and Jorge Sedano. And George, I want you to know, how impressed were you? I want you to tell all of us how impressed we should be with Luka Doncic last night, because he got out there, spoke some Spanish to the crowd in Mexico City. He, of course, played in the Spanish League when he was coming up as a high schooler. What did you think? Take a listen to how he did.
Es un placer para nosotros estar aquí. Muchas gracias por el recibimiento y espero que disfruten del juego. Y una cosa más, ¡Viva México, güey!
Blake Griffin, then, by the way, was just like, hola.
Yo quiero Taco Bell, right?
Exactly.
That's what Blake Griffin wanted to do.
He's pretty good, though, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, Luka, again, he played in Spain for all those years. Basically, in his childhood, he started playing there.
Yeah.
He speaks fluent Spanish. I did his first game last season, Phoenix against Dallas, and I spoke to him strictly in Spanish because he felt more comfortable. Armina Kimes did the story with him before he came into the league, and she told me if you talk to him in Spanish, he's going to be much more engaging, and he was.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was fantastic. He speaks fluent Spanish.
Well, he also speaks fluent basketball.
Yes.
Because he dropped 40-point triple-double. It was his second career 40-point triple-double. He is a child. You said in his childhood?
Right.
He's still kind of a child.
Yes.
And it's his second 40-point triple-double. Is Luka changing your opinion of the Mavs' chances, Perk?
Yeah, absolutely. I was high on Luka since, when the season started, when he started putting up those numbers. I wasn't necessarily high on their team, but now I'm like, this team is good. Yeah. They are really good. You look at the kid Bronson who comes in off the bench, Seth Curry, Powell, Finney-Smith. You have all these guys that are playing their roles. And Luka, KP is actually coming in, and I apologize to KP because he's actually performing at a level that he needs to be performing at. But I'm very high on this Dallas team. I think this Dallas team could actually, I think they could go to the second round and actually make a push to the Western Conference if a team not careful.
I agree. I think that they remind me a lot of this Heat team, to be honest with you, where they were, at least at the beginning of the season, they thought maybe they're a fringe playoff team, or in the East, the Heat were probably a playoff team. But in the West, Dallas was a fringe playoff team. And now they are entrenched. I don't think there's any question about that. And as Perk said, they're a second-round type team. And if they get a break or a bounce, who knows? They could potentially be in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, I do want to ask you more about this Heat team. We're so excited to be here for tonight's game because this team's just cooking, right? But they've done it in part without Dion Waiters, and now it looks like they will be without Dion Waiters for quite a while. The Heat suspended Dion for the third time already this season, this time to, quote, for failure to adhere to team policies, violation of team rules, and continued insubordination. His previous two suspensions were a 10-game ban after an incident on the team plane in November and a suspension for the season opener for detrimental conduct. Perk, you played with Dion Waiters. What is your reaction to this?
Well, when I played with Dion, he was a quiet guy. He was very quiet, and, it's very disturbing in a way because, the Heat has a certain culture. The league knows this, even if you haven't played here. And it's not good for the younger guys that's coming up, the rookies, the college guys. It's not setting a good example for one, but you just never know. Going into the next CBA, it could cause any type of, where it hurt their money, where it's like, hold on, can I pay this guy and he's going to change? One of my great mentors, and Kevin Garnett told me this, you always see a player, you always go determine what type of player an NBA player is once he gets his payday. And right now, Dion is not setting a great example, and this is unacceptable in my opinion.
I agree. Rachel, you mentioned the 3 suspensions. He's only one of 2 guys in the last 15 years to have 3 suspensions in a season. We're not even at Christmas yet.
Right.
In my opinion, I think, and again, I'm not reporting this, but I would be stunned if he played again for this Miami Heat team this season.
That is that
I think
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I think, look, this team has a certain culture, as Perk talked about. Look at what happened at the beginning of this season. It was him and James Johnson who were out. Now, James Johnson, we're talking about just like a simple weight thing, because we know how strict they can be about conditioning here.
I wouldn't make that.
And James was back with the team. He's played a little bit. He's basically out of the rotation, but he's at least available.
Right.
Dion is not even available, I believe, in these games, it seems like. So I just think he's done. I think that this is a culture Pat Riley talked about, that he wanted to retighten the culture, and here we are.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and analysis, check out the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, check out ESPN+.